Welcome to Survival Theory. I'm out in the woods today, sort of on the edge of Tropical Storm Dorian, and there's been a lot of rain. Wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles per hour. It's supposed to get worse this evening and tomorrow as it rolls over me. But I caught a break in the rain, which is good. So it's allowed me to start the hike without rain gear. And actually, I didn't know about the storm until yesterday. I was just planning to, go camping this week, and then I learned about the storm, saw the rain coming in. Thought, well, I'm not going to change my plans. I'll just pack differently. I brought my hammock instead of the mosquito net and tarp. So I won't be sleeping on the ground. Now the forecast is saying flash flood warnings, and we could get 4 or 5 inches of rain or more. But I'm going to try to find some high ground. I've got a hammock, so flash floods won't really be a concern except for trying to get back. I think I've got about another 45 minutes to go before I get deep enough to start looking for a campsite. I'm going to go probably about another half hour, then go off trail and hike for about 15 minutes into an area where I'm near a creek, but there's some higher elevation around it. So we'll see how that goes. I've never been there before. I just used Google Maps, kind of surveyed the area. It's dang humid. Now it's just raining lightly or misting, not enough to get soaked. I don't want to put on my poncho because then I will just sweat inside of it and be just as wet as if I had not worn it. But my pants, though, my pants are getting wet from walking through the grass. Now I do have some rain pants, and maybe I should have put them on to keep my pants dry. But from the knees down, I'm getting pretty soaked in these. Oh well. Maybe I'll get it. Alright, so I'm already soaked because the trail is so overgrown that I'm just soaked from brushing against all these leaves and underbrush. My sleeves are soaked, my pants are soaked. There's really no point in putting on the poncho unless it really rains hard. So I think I found a good camping spot. That log there will act as my seat. I can build a fire in front of that and put a tarp over that area. I brought a tarp and my hammock because I'm anticipating a lot of rain. So I'll have a 10 by 10 dry area. Then plus my tarp has its own, my hammock has its own tarp. And I'll stretch that out right here. There's a potential for fat wood in the area because of all the down pine. And there's no widow makers around me, which is good. So I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to have to cut some yoke on to support my tarp to get it where I want it to go. So I'll put on my handy dandy gloves, keep my hands cleaner and protected. And don't tell anybody, but I got a silky gum boy. Let's go try it out. So I've got the tarp up, going from whatever tree I could get to. I use some bank line to tie it off to different trees. And I cut this yoke on, put the tarp bag on top of that. That way water doesn't collect on top of the tarp. But look there, look what I forgot to do. I forgot to remove that dead limb hanging from the tree up there. That was easy. So my camp is set up. I brought a rocket stove. So I'm good to go. I don't need a fire, but of course I want one. Everything's soaking wet, but I did bring some tinder. So I'll collect some tiny twigs and see what I can get going. Probably won't keep a fire going all night because I don't want to devote that much time to collecting wood. But we'll see what I find. I don't have as much fat wood as I thought I did, but I do have some birch bark. So it'll get lit. Well, I'm surprised it's going as well as it is, but that's great. I think if I get enough sticks like this, I could probably keep the fire going all night, which would be awesome. Plus, I need to have a reserve for the morning and later tonight if I want to keep it going a little bit. But I brought my jet boil stove, so I'm going to use that to boil water and cook dinner. So better get busy. And this is the MSR rocket stove. I've had it, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Works great. And I love this little canister it comes in, real lightweight. So I'll get that set up. I've got bumblebee jalapeno tuna, little packet here. A packet of onion and mushroom soup. And then I've got pasta. I've also got salt and pepper, some Slap Ya Mama, and 2 packets of Slap Ya Mama spicing. But the real treat tonight is from the garden. I brought, I can go ahead and pull them out. This long hot pepper right here, green. Oh, it even smells hot. This little pepper here is called a time bomb. It looks like a cherry tomato. And I don't remember, this is some kind of bell pepper, a sweet pepper. So I'm going to add those to the mix. And I'm starving, so let's get busy. So to cook this pasta, I'm just going to use my canteen. And I found out while hiking here that I forgot to fill up my canteen all the way. It was only about halfway full. So I'm going to be a little low on water. I'll have to collect some more if it rains tonight. Boy, this thing is dirty too. That's clean enough. Well, I only have one camera and not much battery, so I'm going to eat this. I'll turn off the camera. I'm going to eat this and enjoy the night. Listen to the sounds, including the jets. Look at this. That is some good looking stuff. So, bon appetit. Well, it's not raining, but it kind of sounds like it. I think it's just dripping from the trees. But for sure, rain is on the way. That tropical storm is, maybe it's a tropical depression now, but it's headed right for me. So I'll enjoy this beautiful weather while I can. I can hear something crashing through the woods over there. Look at that. cool. Very tiny. Check this out. Look at this beetle. Alright, so whatever that is crashing through the woods, some serious stuff. Deer don't normally crash through the woods and then run off. Something crashed and then was running off. It was right over here by my camp, apparently. Well, that's probably going to do it for me tonight. I'm very tired. Besides all the hiking I did today, last night I was up to about 5 a.m. because, well, I won't go into too much detail, but a local girl went missing under suspicious circumstances. Most likely, as a teenage girl, most likely she was abducted. And most likely nothing good came about from it. So, got the call from somebody to come help with the search. And by the time I got there, I guess law enforcement and the detectives had trampled all over the trail and destroyed any footprints. She was in barefoot. So, very distinguishable prints because everyone else is wearing a shoe. So the ATVs and law enforcement boots had trampled most of the evidence. But I was able to find 3 footprints, you know, over a space of about 500 feet. So that gives us the last known location. But after that, I didn't find any more footprints. A lot of us searched the woods, didn't find anything. So at this point, I don't know what the rest of the story is, other than tried to help, and that's all I could do, was find a few footprints. Well, this firewood's drying out, so it looks like I'll be able to have a fire in the morning with not much hassle. And hopefully it rains because I'm just about out of water. I didn't fill up my canteen. And even so, I planned on replenishing. So if it rains, I'll try to catch some water from the corners of the tarp. Purify that. See you tomorrow. So yes, another beautiful morning. Tropical Depression Dorian moving through. I had to put up the camp light because it's still kind of dark. All the wood that I got dry last night is soaking wet again. The fire burned out because it's kind of misting. At the same time it's raining. So everything is wet. My backup camera, the only camera I have right now besides my phone. But that's a water camera, so it's okay in the rain. Outside of my backpack is soaked. Everything inside is dry though. The tarp held up nicely. There's not a lot of winds involved, so this setup was okay for that. The hammock held up nicely. And I actually lowered this flap because last night I had it tied up here at a steep angle so I could, see the camp. But I lowered it this morning so it wouldn't collect water around the peak. So I guess I'll try to start a fire. Kind of be like yesterday, but everything's a lot more wet this morning. I mean, it's dripping, soaked. Yesterday it had a slight drying time. See, this is not enough rain to flood that creek. But then again, it could have rained a lot heavier up north a little bit. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Get it, cross the bridge, it's flooded. Well, that wasn't very controlled. Most of it went down my sleeve and down my back. So, I have to try that again. There we go. That was much better. A little more control that time. So I'll let it build up with some more water, and I'll get some more. My silky gum boy even works while it's raining. So it's time to get a little bit more water. I think that's going to be too moist for feather sticking. But if I get a fire going, that'll work. And here comes the heavier rain. So I've got a dry piece of pine bark here. I'm wondering if one of these pieces from last night is dry enough on the inside. For feather sticking. Doesn't collect water anymore. Uh-oh, a wet lighter. There we go. Yeah, see, that wood is still so moist. It's not even holding a flame. Maybe some of these inner pieces are kind of dry. Yeah, that's how wet it was. It doesn't seem that wet, but it is. So I'm going to have to go ahead and gather some fat wood, shave it up, and use a ferro rod or a lighter, whatever. But I'm going to have to start from scratch. So before I get another fire going, or a fire going, I need to fuel up. So I'm going to have some oatmeal. I'll just use the stove. Maple and brown sugar, instant oatmeal. And I will add to that some cranberries, dried cranberries. That should be pretty good. Oh, look at that. If I could get a fire going, start burning some of this, that would be awesome. This stuff is pretty old. Usually when I go camping, I take old prepping food, and you know, that way I'm rotating. I'm using up the old stuff. There's fuel for the fire. That's hot. Let that cool down for a while. I'm gonna go for a short hike, then I'll eat breakfast, then I'll deal with that fat wood. Well, actually, now that it's not raining as much, I want to take this opportunity to take the hammock down Get that stashed away. So inside there I had my blanket. I kind of use it as a sleeping bag. I put it under me because it feels good, and then I'll put it over me to get rid of any chill in the early morning. And I've got this snake bag here, which acts as a pillow, and inside of it I just have a dry sack, and in the dry sack I have, there's a little towel there to dry off if I need it. I got a shmog, and wrapped up in that shmog, extra socks, shirt, and underwear. Makes a great pillow. Just put all this in there in the snake bag, and well, I put all this in here, and I actually inflate it to where it's, you know, got a lot of air in it. Then I put it in the snake bag, and it takes till early morning to drain out. So it holds the air a long time, makes a good pillow. And it's stuff I would have brought anyway, so no need to bring just a pillow. And I don't like bunching shirts up under my head, because after I fall asleep, the shirt's all over the place. This makes kind of like an actual pillow. Spotless. So check this out. This big pine tree fell and hit this group of oak trees. Another pine tree from that direction fell and got in between these oak trees. And then this big pine tree fell and got in between the oak trees. 3 big trees hit the same little spot. So I was able to light, with the lighter I lit up the packaging from the oatmeal for a flame. Then I added fat wood shavings to get it sustained a little bit. Then I started adding fat wood sticks, and then just added big sections of fat wood. So pretty much got a fat wood fire going. It could last all day. There's plenty of fat wood. So mission accomplished. I thought we'd do a gear check. First, my hat. Inside my hat, I have a map of the area. Always have a map. And on me, of course, I got my knife, the Blackbird. I've got my cell phone here wrapped up. It's turned off now, so I don't have much battery left. That's all I got on me right now. Of course, I've got my headlamp. Got a G-Shock watch. Another little mini camera stand. Over here in this pouch, I got some hand sanitizer. Over here in this pouch, I've got my poncho, which I haven't even worn yet. Right here in the side, I've got the rain pants, which I have not worn yet. Got my sustainment pouch, and I brought plenty of food besides what I've already eaten. Also have one of the Mountain House Backpacker's Pantry. Some more tuna fish, some beef jerky, different snacks, coffee, hot cocoa, bars, the dried cranberries, a couple of drink mixes. This is black cherry. And some vitamins and aspirin. I'm actually going to take the vitamins now. So I brought plenty of food because there was no telling how long I might be out here. They were anticipating a lot of rain and the creeks could overflow, which means I would be stuck here potentially for 2 or 3 days. That fire's getting big. I still have that pepper. Of course, the hammock. I have to knock that fire down a little bit if it gets too big. And the lighting Everlight for filming. Lights up the whole camp all night. The useless camera. I brought 3 dead batteries basically. Not a very good idea. So all that's useless. My firebox, which is just about empty of tinder. And I've got matches, magnifying glass, some lint, different things in there. Water purification kit. That's basically a large trash bag, a Canuck bag, and a Sawyer Mini. A glow stick. Some extra stakes and some 550 cord for ridge lines, things like that. Extra flashlight. This is the Vizeri. I don't even think they sell this anymore on Amazon, but it is a good flashlight. Extra batteries. Like I said, if I'm out here for a few days, I want to make sure I have enough light. That's all in there. Of course, I have the clean canteen and a cup. MSR stove for fuel. My canteen. And then all that stuff I showed you earlier in the dry bag, the clothes, the blanket, the small towel, and the schmog. Silky Gone Boy, pair of leather gloves, and the Holtzbrook axe. And up in here I've got, and luckily I brought this. This is the waterproof camera, some extra batteries. This is my O-light. This is the Seeker 2. It's been my main light at night besides the headlamp. Toiletries kit, hand sanitizer, toothpaste, dental floss, toothbrush, toilet paper, some wet wipes, a couple Band-Aids. Got the rat 2 in here. That would have been handy carving that fat wood earlier. Got a mosquito net for the head. And of course my compass. I'll go ahead and leave that out because I'll need it to get out of here. And some bank line. That's the gear I brought. Well, I just turned my phone on. Now that the skies are somewhat clear, it's cloudy again now, but I had reception for a little while. I found out that teenage girl that many of us were searching the woods for, where it looked like she had been abducted. Turns out she did that on purpose. She made it look like an abduction. They found her safe in another town. Go figure. That's just wrong. And also found out that some heavier rain is anticipated this evening, but probably just maybe a shower or two until then. Right now the wind is picking up. The sun has gone away. Feels good out here. I'm kind of drying by the fire because I'm going to put on the pants for the trip back because, you know, these pants just get too wet going through all the brush and grass. So I'm going to put these on and then start hiking back. And I'm pretty sure I'm not flooded in. It just hasn't been enough rain. And even if the creek is too high, I've got an axe, so I could fell a tree and cross that way. No big deal. The forever burning fire here. I don't want to take my tarp down while it's still burning. So I'll probably just sit here a while, chill out, walk around a little bit. Well, I just finished hiking around for a while. That fat wood's going to burn for hours, so I'm going to go ahead and put out the fire. I guess the best thing to do would be throw it into the wet woods. Coming up on the first creek. First creek I have to cross to get back. For the most part, it's dry. Some water did accumulate there. Yeah, there's water accumulations in it, but no big deal. That's a big tree to get around. Well, I've got about 20 minutes to go. Then I'll be plugged back into the matrix. But I had fun. Enjoyed myself. It was good to get out. It didn't rain as much as I thought it would during this tropical depression. I guess I was just in the right spot to miss all the rain. You know, potentially I could have been out here for 3 days. There was no way to tell because I could have been trapped out here. But that didn't happen. So, Matrix, here I come. Thanks for watching Survival Theory. Please share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Check that out. That's an unusual sight out here in the National Forest. I've always called these horse apples. Big as a grapefruit. Not edible as far as I know. Very little wildlife even eats this stuff. There's another one there.